Welcome back. This is August 2022 for Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. When we speak about the astrology, we are referring to the Libra rising. So first, let's get started off here with the astrology for August. So yeah, August 1st to the 7th here, really the first week of August. August 1st, we got a lot of stuff going on. We have Mars, Uranus, North Node all there in Taurus in your 8th house. That's just going to be a lot of, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be really intense because what is Mars? Mars rules really like your second house and oh my gosh, and your seventh house because Aries and Scorpio there. So that's you're gonna see a lot of like upheaval and like really just like a lot of sudden issues and also disruptions, expenses, accidents there in the second house, in your seventh house. But really, it's gonna be all having to do with this eighth house stuff of endings of debts of other people's money, of shared resources. So eighth house stuff is gonna be really in your face in some uncomfortable ways this month here. So Libra risings, be careful around others, be careful on others in relationships or within your own relationships. There's going to be some sudden disruptive moments, some accidents, even some physical accidents. So just be careful physically. I think we've already really been through the first week here, but like that energy I do feel is like pervasive throughout the month because it is a lot of this stuff right there in your eighth house. So then we had the Mars square Saturn, and you might have had, some stuff like living stuff, some situational stuff like kind of get in, or, bills, accidents, all that kind of like all that stuff might get in the way. The stuff we were just talking about there the first week, because this is also within the first week here, are going to be getting in the way here of enjoying yourself. You might going to be needing to spend some extra money. It's going to be just like some little annoyances here and there that are going to cause some disruptions within your life. Then we also have Mercury moving into Virgo. So your ninth house ruler, Mercury, is going into your 12th house. So your 12th house is, your unacknowledged parts of self, your self-sabotage, your fears, all that kind of like, hidden enemies, like hidden fears, like the things that you do not see that are negative about yourself, the areas where you are self-sabotaging are coming up here. So it's going to be, and your ninth house is all about spirituality, long distance travel, education, all that kind of stuff. It's like really like nice and expansive. Think Sagittarius. So it's going into this really like this much darker, more hidden, more difficult part of yourself there with the 12th house. So you're going to find this internalization of this negative self-narrative of your fears, of your self-sabotaging thoughts and feelings are going to be really internalized and wreaking havoc within your mental self at this time. So just be aware of negative self-talk and focusing more on the negative things. On August 11th, we have, which is today, guys, woo, the full moon is in Aquarius. And we also have Venus entering Leo. So the sun is in Leo there in your 11th house, highlighting really your 5th house there, your 5th house of Saturn, and your 5th house. And we also have Saturn in Aquarius. So we have, where is Aquarius? Aquarius is also 5th house for you, correct? Yes. So I don't know why I just had like a mental issue there. But yes, we have a lot of like weird 11th versus 5th house stuff. And 11th house is your friendships, your groups, your communities. And 5th house is kind of like how I see like what we're brought together by our shared interests, our the ways, our recreation, things that we love to do together. So like if you and your friends all are interested in like movies, you all go to the movies together. You're interested in going out and drinking, you're all going to go out and go drinking together. It's like what is your group and where are you connecting? So this is going to be a really interesting moment of really looking at your social divide here. What side of the fence are you on? Who are you now versus who were you? Are you in a different social situation because of people you've let go? Have you let go of some aspects of yourself as well that have changed your personality, that have changed the people around you, are making them more honest with you? Like maybe you've changed your view. Like I don't want to like get like political or anything, but it's like maybe for some reason like you've gone from conservative to liberal, whatever, and like so the people around you have changed, like your beliefs have changed, whatever it might be. Like there's things about yourself that have changed, and the people around you will reflect that, and the things that you do with them will reflect it. Are you enjoying, and it's really gonna, you're gonna like have these questions like come up of like, can you really enjoy what you're doing with your friends? Are you enjoying like what you're connecting on here? It's really looking at the people you enjoy things with, and if that again needs to be changed, if it needs to be shifted, if you've changed and shifted, do you want to be around these people, this group anymore? We also have Venus moving into Leo, and Venus is obviously your ascendant ruler and your 8th house ruler, and So again, you have this like deeper focus here when Venus moves into Leo on friendships and having fun because it's moving into your 11th house there. So you're going to be like really focused on like getting out and having fun with your friends, connecting with that. But like it's not going to be the same because obviously we have this like complication there, these questions and these like this weird feeling kind of coming up of like really looking at where we are on this social divide. Who do we want to associate with anymore? Who have we really outgrown? And I think Libras, that is something that you and Leos, out of all the signs that I read for and that I know personally, you guys both have the hardest time, especially, Leo suns, Libra suns, and Libra and Leo Venuses have the hardest time, especially when you have these placements in the 8th and the 11th house there, of letting people go, that you have outgrown. It's like you very clearly have outgrown people. You don't need to talk to them anymore. You don't need to invite them places. Do you really even enjoy hanging out with them? Like, eh. And hello, Mango King. Mango King 2022. That sounds yummy, actually. A mango would be great right now. Hello and welcome. And so let's see here. So yes, we're talking about... Got a little lost there. We're talking about the 11th, which is today, the full moon in Aquarius and Venus entering Leo. So yeah, you're going to be focusing more when Venus moves into Leo on, again, your friendships, having fun with them. But again, not in the same definition you would have normally or you would have in the past. Maybe, again, you don't share the same hobbies, don't do the same things anymore. On the 21st, we have Mars moving into Gemini. And Mars is going to be in Gemini for 8 months. So just like... get ready for that. It's not going to be as bad for you guys. As a Cancer rising, I'm concerned for myself. It's not going to be fun. But Mars goes into Gemini, and Mars rules your 7th and your 2nd houses, like I said earlier, and it's going to be going into your 9th house of spirituality, of far distance travel, higher education. So what that's going to look like for you is saving money to travel, saving money for, again, you're saving money for the future. Maybe you want to learn something new. Maybe you want to go back to school. Maybe there's a class or a course you want to take, something different you want to do or create here. And then Mars is eventually end up going to be squaring up. Mars is going to eventually square Neptune, so you might find some issues with travel plans, anything that you were trying to plan at this time, like getting canceled, maybe because of work situations, just these like things like the 9th house and the 2nd house kind of like hitting each other on the head there a little bit. So we also have Mercury entering shadow at this time and opposing Neptune. So that is your 9th house ruler there, Mercury, going into shadow, in your 12th house of, again, self-sabotage, of hidden enemies, all these like unacknowledged fears and parts of yourself you don't want to deal with there in Virgo, because Virgo rules your 12th house. So it's going to really feel like you're seeing things differently. You're seeing things that you wouldn't usually, but it's going to be difficult to feel really clear on things, and it's going to feel like a lot of work-related things getting in the way, and health-related issues maybe even coming up there, and not really knowing what's wrong, but like needing to deal with it. Maybe it's just like you're not feeling right because of stress or anxiety. You're going to have some like weird like mystery issues like crop up that you're going to have to figure out there. So yeah. And let's just continue on there to the end of the month. End of the month there, we have August 27th. We have the new moon in Virgo. So that's in a couple weeks from now, because we're doing this again on the full moon in Aquarius, in your 5th house there. So new moon in Virgo is going to be, that's going to be a tough one, because that is going to hit your 12th house. It's going to be a lot of, because it's going to be a new moon in your 12th house there. So new moon of all the unacknowledged parts of self, unacknowledged like fears, resentments, issues, things like that needed to come up to be dealt with. It's kind of like, think of like your attic there. Your attic, I don't want to deal with this, I'm going to put this in there and like, go on beyond it. Thank you. I hope that you mean that, because I feel like I am disorganized. So thanks for saying that you think my stream is organized. I try to keep it so that you guys can peek at what I'm talking about. It's going to, continue to get better over time. I'm going to be using some different like programs and stuff over time, and it'll be good, but we're just getting back into it. And hello, yellow, Archangel Miriolio. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad at saying some words, so just bear with me. Dyslexia. Anyway, so that new moon in Virgo there for you. Again, we're talking about the Libra risings at this time. Then we're going to go into the reading right as soon as I'm done actually with this last part here. We're going to get into the reading for Libra sun, moon, rising. So on the 27th, that new moon in Virgo, it's going to be really focused on clearing out and cleaning up those hidden enemies, getting over the repressed parts of yourself there. Again, that's all your 12th house stuff is going to come out, because it's like your 12th house coming out in the 1st house. It's like, what the fuck is this kind of feeling? It's just very uncomfortable there. So you cannot run away really from your own shit. You cannot run away from your self-sabotage. You cannot run away from things when this stuff comes up there. And Mercury is also going to be retrograding here. So like you're going to be forced to deal with some things that you have been running away from in the back of your mind. Some back end work you don't want to deal with. And we also have this new moon squaring Mars. So it's really going to feel challenging and frustrating to be like, because you're going to be really focusing on wanting to change your beliefs, but you're also going to feel kind of forced into it. It's going to be a really awkward, like, push and pull of, like, I want to change certain things, but I don't want to fully let go of myself. And, you're going to feel really overwhelmed by it because it's going to also force you to be like, where are you going in life? What are you doing? It's going to force you to really, like, get rid of all these questions and deal with them so you can get back on track and get back into a first house place there. Virgo will want to be really precise, and the Gemini is going to want you to go with the flow, and you're going to have to just kind of find your way in between there. Be precise while going with the flow and not letting your fears and everything overwhelm you with this, because it is going to be a lot that you're going through at the end of the month. I'm going to be honest, my Libra risings, it's going to be tough for you, but don't worry. Scorpio and Cancer risings seem to be not having the best time for the next 8 months. So it's just, I feel mostly for them. Anyways, Venus is opposing Saturn also at this time on the 27th new moon. Venus is in Leo in your 11th house of friendships, of your networks, your social networks, your communities, and it's going to be squaring Uranus and Taurus in your 8th house. So it's going to force you to like literally look at your shared resources, especially within your coworkers, friend groups, family, whatever people that you share your resources with. They're your closest people, your 11th house stuff. It's going to be going opposite Saturn there, also in Aquarius. So it has a lot to do with like living situation, 5th house stuff as well. Sex, recreation, how you enjoy things. And there's going to be a lot of disruptions, again, with friends and people around you here within these situations. So it's like going to be a little bit of a complex end of the month there. Don't worry, we're going to get through this. So Libra risings, that is your astrology for the month. I'm just going to just move this on here. Libra sun, moon, rising, and Venus. We are going to be using the Muka Tarot for you guys. I don't know, just feeling it. And you actually had a reading in that first stream that I did where the sound did not work, so don't even go try to watch it. The sound does not work. It's very frustrating. That was 5 hours of readings that are just... But let's get into this Libra reading here for Libra sun, moon, rising, and Venus for August 2022. And I'm just going to take these sandals off. Let me know what you guys are drinking today. Water, tea, coffee, soda even. Sandalwood does smell really nice. All right. I like floral scents too. I like really earthy green. Like I have a candle, I don't know where it is right now, but it's like very, it smells like a forest. I even have like some dirt smell in there, but it smells so nice. Oh, it's like I wanted it to smell like how I would imagine the dilapidated, like the Grand Archives would smell like in Dark Souls 3. Because I'm a nerd. And it does, in my opinion, so whatever. All right. Libra, sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Oh, okay. Feel something big. I don't know. Sometimes I think, Libras, the things that you guys worry about the most Sorry, I'm going to fix the mic because I feel like it's about to fall. The things that you guys like tend to worry about the most, especially with work, friends, stuff like that, are the things that like you really like, if you, when you make the move, like it all falls into place. Whatever you're afraid to do here, but we'll talk about it. But let's talk about you guys. All right, Libras. So we've definitely been through a bit this month already. It feels like you guys are very tired and you could really use a break. Get the rest that you need if you need it. That's just kind of like a random message. Like this Four of Swords came out very randomly when I wasn't exactly like, when I was in between shifting focuses. So to me, that always indicates like, get some rest. Like make sure you are taking care of your body. And I do believe like for the Libra risings, that definitely came up in your astrology is like, and it's been coming up for everybody this month. Watch your health. Like, I know, like, I don't want to, like, get into all the health stuff. I don't want to get to monkeypox or COVID and all that stuff, but, like, just watch your health this month. There's a lot of, like, random things that are very unexpected that you're like, that would never happen to me, and it could happen. So just be aware of that. Take care of your health this month. Make sure you're getting the rest that you need. Do not overwork yourself. You guys love to do that. It is, like, just take a fucking chill pill once in a while. But anyways, your first card out here is, the Queen of Pentacles. Actually, let this Libra in my life know that I am streaming. I don't know if she'll be able to tell. But anyways, so yeah, you get your first card out here, Libra, is the Queen of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. It's kind of an interesting place to be because it's like there is some specific, I don't know, I feel like you guys you have a lot of 12th house stuff coming up, especially if you're a Libra rising. Regardless, it just feels like you're having some stuff come up here as we get closer to our 12th house season, as we get really, because again, Virgo season is our 12th house season for all Libras. It's going to be a time of endings. It's going to be a time of closing chapters and, looking back. It's kind of like, let's look back at the year and see where we have been. And hello. Also, you got frustrated with you got frustrated with the Crystal Sage in DS3. But yes, I did not have I don't think I had as many issues with the Crystal Sage. We'll get into that a little after, though. I am a tarot reader. If you're just joining, I do tarot, and I also include astrology. I am a channeled reader, so I don't always do it, but specifically by, like, the meanings of the cards, whatever's coming through means more to me. And I've been doing it for about 14 years now, so if you're just joining. But yes, Queen of Pentacles here, Five of Cups. So Queen of Pentacles, I always see her as somebody who's able to... I always see her as being very, like, money, like, wealth, security focused and feeling a little bit more secure in these areas. So I don't think that is kind of the issue for you here at the beginning of the month. You're feeling secure in your finances. You're feeling secure in your home situation. You're feeling like, I've got certain things under control, and yet there is something nagging to be dealt with here. With the Five of Cups, there is some type of feeling of loss here that we are not dealing with. And I really feel like this is almost, I don't know if it's like the culmination again of all this 12th house stuff of, like, if you've had loss in the past year, I feel like some of you guys are mourning, and ending relationships, or maybe even you are ending ones, like, recently. It just feels like you're mourning some certain things that you've had to let go of this year, while you've also leveled up in some really big ways. You're not really focusing on the leveled up things, though. You're kind of feeling this, like, it's almost like the back of the mind when you're all alone. You kind of get this feeling of, like, why do I feel, like, off and sad, and, like, I feel like I need to, like, mourn some things. So if you haven't taken the time, in Libras, let's be real, you and Leo have a lot of interesting similarities to me, but, like, if there are ever any two signs who do not mourn things properly, it is both of you. So please just, like, mourn whatever the loss is here. The Zodiac, yes, the Zodiac changed. I don't know. I don't believe in that. They added some new sign. I don't fuck with that. Most astrologers do not fuck with that because it's bullshit. Like, whatever. I don't know what they were trying to do with that. I don't know what happened with that whole thing. I don't mess with that. I think every astrologer that I know does not mess with that, so I don't mess with that either. I think it's silly. No, they haven't changed. I don't know about the Chinese Zodiac, but I know that the Western zodiac signs, or, zodiac sky signs, star signs, have not changed to most people. I don't really know. The Australopithecus, whatever, between Scorpio and Sag, I don't know what that whole thing was. Yeah, Libra and Pisces are all zodiac signs too. Don't worry, we'll go through them all. So we're going through Libra. We're going to go Libra, Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. So during the second half, I'm going to go back and redo the first half tomorrow because the first half, the sound got totally messed up. There was no sound on that video, so I was not able to cut that up for people to watch on YouTube or to rewatch later, and that's no fun. So I will be redoing that one tomorrow. So we're going to do Aries through Virgo tomorrow. If you are one of those sun signs or you are one of those rising signs, don't worry, we're going to cover them tomorrow. Same time, same place. Hopefully a little earlier because maintenance today, but you know. So Two of Wands is your second card out here, though. So we get, not your second card, but your third card. So we get this combination here of like, we can see that there were certain things that maybe, again, we haven't done right or things that didn't go well. I just feel like you're in this really intense phase of like looking back at it all right now, Libra, and like looking back on your decisions, looking back on what happened, looking back on how things played out. And there is, you know, certain sadness, certain sense of loss, but I also feel like there's a certain, like a real sense of pride and how you've come out the other side and how you're able to now, oh, I always pick the opposite one because, again, guys, when you're looking at the camera, everything's opposite, so just bear with me. But Two of Wands here is what I call my prospecting card. We're prospecting for the future. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to take the knowledge, the experience, everything that you have gained up to this point? And it's a really nice point to pause and think. And I do think that's why that Four of Swords also came up for you guys, like kind of randomly, of like, take the time to rest, think, and focus on where you really want to be. Don't get so caught up in the day-to-day and completing things for other people and doing this and doing that and all your responsibilities for everybody else that you're not thinking about your own future, because by the time, it's almost like, it's one of those things where it's like, by the time you realize like you needed to make these moves, it's too late. And you don't want to be in that position of like feeling like life has passed me by and I haven't gotten to do these things and I should have done this then. We have some interesting cards here coming up. When we're focusing here on the more career, money, work, life stuff here, you have a lot of big changes showing up here. And I do feel like a lot of them are going to hit in Scorpio season. I think more towards the end of the month, you're going to be more driven towards what drives you instead of like, I got to do this work, I got to do that. It's going to be more like, what drives me? What do I want to do? And showing up here is, again, that King of Cups energy. For me, this is, especially with the King of, well, not the King of, with the Eight of Coins and the King of Cups here, I feel like you're pouring a lot of emotion into your work here, and you're really focused on how can I feel the most emotionally, I don't want to say like emotionally stable in your work, but more emotionally attached. Like you have to be getting something emotionally positive out of it. Because a lot of people, again, go to work, they get nothing out of it. They don't love it. It means nothing to them. Like when I worked at McDonald's, for example, like back in college. What did that do for me? Like it paid some bills, like not much else. It's not like I wanted to make that my career. It's not like I was super interested in it. And if that is what you want to do, go for it. I still liked working in restaurants and I did, but I wanted to go further. So it's very much like, where do you want to take this? Like what, I feel like you're having this really intense, like emotional, not in a bad way. It's like a positive emotional upheaval of like feeling like a lot more emotionally resilient, mature, and ready to face some things that you probably haven't been able to, if that makes sense, Libras. And with that Eight of Coins, again, you're very focused on work, very focused on money, on what is going to build you up. And what's interesting here is like, I feel like for some of you, education, like, I don't know if like you want to learn a new skill, do something different, but when I get the, especially the Hierophant here and the Ace of Swords, like I just feel like there's a big move here towards education, of wanting to learn something or asking somebody for help. You could even like be like somebody that's in the same field as you but has been in it much longer. Maybe you're like reaching out to them as a mentor, like, can I work with you, like maybe even for free, can I just like get some like training from you? Awesome. Scorpios are great. And that was just a chat, guys. If you're just watching this on YouTube, I'm also responding to chat on Twitch, because these videos I record on Twitch first. So if you're wondering who else I'm talking to, it's because I'm talking to chat, which I know is new for you guys on YouTube, but come over on Twitch and we can have some fun together. But anyways, with that here, the Hierophant is very much like, I always see him as for traditional education, traditional values, and making some big decisions there. And I think, especially in terms of home, maybe it's like where you want to live, maybe it's even buying a home. It just feels like we're making some big decision in terms of traditional values that has a lot to do, or is tied into our work. And that's why I feel for a lot of you, this is more about wanting to learn, you know, a new trade, a new aspect of your career. Like maybe you want to learn a new program if like you work digitally or something. This just feels very, wanting to take some steps here to again, like to better our minds, because again, Ace of Swords and sword energy to me always shows up as like mind and communication and things like that. And I love that. Like that's wonderful, but it can also obviously fall into more traditional values, making decisions there in terms of like, will I, for some of you, I don't think this has to do with love. For some of you, it could be committing to something. It feels more about committing to a job or committing to a certain path of career. And more towards the end of the month here, we have some shifting going on there. Sorry, I have to like lean over to pull these from the thing here. But you have the Judgment card showing up along with the Queen of Wands. And I don't hate this. I think that this is actually good. I think this is kind of just, and why I'm saying I don't hate this, and I'm like, because usually I love the Queen of Wands. She's kind of like my business bitch. But like, to me, this really feels like you guys wanting to take something that is a side hustle and like being like, okay, is this just a side hustle or is this more? Or is this more? Because we get the King of Wands here right after that. It could also be that you're meeting somebody in terms of a work situation that can really elevate and upgrade your work situation. I just feel like, just I don't want to say be careful, but like be very aware of who you are meeting this month in terms of work, Libras, in terms of your connections, because I feel like you can get into some like really intense not negative connections, but like you can have some connections with certain people within your field that can really open your world up to whole new possibilities that you never thought you would be able to do. I just feel like there's some of you, it's just deciding you want to be the King of Wands, enjoying your life. Maybe you want to be heading your own business. Maybe you want to go your own way, do your own thing here, go off. Like you're like, don't feel like you're being respected enough. You feel like it's right time to upgrade in terms of a job or career, because you're learning something new. You want to go off in a new direction. Like it's just like, for me, I just like light bulbs and like moments of like realization are coming to you in terms of life path, career, and what you want to do this month. And I feel like when you open your mind up to that, the right people are also going to show up. So it feels like somebody who has the potential to be like, oh, do you want to come work with me in this situation? Like, giving you a pay raise or giving you a new experience that you've always wanted to have. So I really I see this as a net positive for you by the end of the month. However, I do see this as like feeling a little complex for you. I'm not gonna lie. This feels like where did those cards just go down? I have more. Yeah, like there's like some stress here for sure. There we go. Because this has a lot to do with something you've thought about. And it's like, will you make this decision? Will you not? And it's like, when I looked at like, what is the hang up here? Why haven't we decided this? Why is this like coming up? It's almost like, are you going to do this or not? Are you going to make this move or not? And the Nine of Wands and the Hangman are there, which tell me like, this is something that again you might continue to be on the fence about. You might continue to not make a decision about, because when the Nine of Wands is there in the Hangman, I feel it's a very unmoving state. Nine of Wands is like, I am ready for whatever's coming. I don't know what's coming, but like I'm ready for it. Don't fuck with me. Like don't try to knock me down. Like I'm ready. Nine of Wands is like, she's there with her sticks, like you will not take this from her. You're not going to knock her down, but she has her guard up is really what the point is here. The guard is up, and the Hanged Man is also in this position of not moving, of being forced to look at things from a different perspective and not really make that decision. So you might need to look again, because this is going to be a very 12th housey like you're getting into a lot of 12th house energy, so it's going to force you to look at some areas of like self-sabotage, or like where again maybe work has been very abusive to you, where you've just acted like it's been fine, or where you're not getting paid enough, you're not getting treated correctly, or your needs of what you really want out of it are not being met. So I feel like there's again, I don't want to say rush into that, but this feels like something that has been building for a long time and is going to get to a certain point this month where it's like you had this fear over like, what if I took this step? What if I did this? What if I lost everything and did this thing? And it's like, you have nothing to fear, because Three of Swords is reversed here with the Three of Cups. And that's what the Hangman here is looking at. I know it probably won't look the same when I show this up here, but on the table, he's looking right at this Three of Swords reversed, and is seeing right through it to that Three of Cups. And again, you're not going to see it the same way that I'm going to see it on my deck here, because it's going to be reversed, but that's really incredible to me, because the Three of Swords reversed is like, we are taking those swords out of we're taking the feeling of heartbreak out, the fear of loss, the fear of what if I lose that. And it's like, it's almost like this, whatever you're afraid to lose in terms of this work situation, the security, whatever this means to you, your ego, how this might look to the rest of the world. Like, what if I step away from this and I'm a failure? What if I step away from this and I'm no longer like successful in people's eyes? I'm no longer a top dog, because you've become the big fish in the small pond. What happens when you become the small fish in the big pond? Are you ready for that? maybe you've been afraid to. But it's, to me, it seems like this is a win-win situation, and especially if you do it with the right people and you have confidence and faith in yourself. You have to remember also, Saturn and I think Saturn and Jupiter are now retrograde, which has really been fucking with people's ability to believe in themselves. Like with Jupiter going retrograde in Aries, it's like, oh, do I believe in myself? Like, can I do this? Wait, I don't know, actually. I'm gonna take a step back and think about it. It's that kind of energy, but like when I see this, it's like you have nothing to fear. Well, the fears are coming back from the 12th house, and you're gonna have to work through them during this season. So for a lot of you, I feel like these are just like the stirrings, the movings of getting yourself into the place you wanna be with your career, the place you've been saying you wanna be, and then where you've been accepting for less. But it's like you have to work through some like, why are you afraid of this? Did something happen in the past where like some aspect of like a work thing that was tied to your ego? Maybe you had like, you were working with somebody, you had a falling out, you no longer work with them, you no longer get work from them, and that like you're like, oh, that reflected poorly on me, or like now I don't get to work with those people, and that must like look like I'm not professional or something. And it's like, whatever this is, you're gonna be like, it's like you're gonna have to like deal, it's like you're gonna find out like your fears are not real and they're attached to things that like probably also don't have as much to do with this as you thought. So that's really what I want to say there is like, you guys got this, like, but you are gonna have to go through some 12th house stuff of like dealing with why you're afraid to like make some certain moves in your life here, why you're afraid to let go of certain people and instances. In terms of love though, let's talk about love, Libras. It's like nice. I don't know if I don't stream on YouTube when I'm streaming on here, but I do put my videos on YouTube if you guys are wondering. I usually don't stream on YouTube because I think I don't know, a lot of crazy people join when you're out doing streaming on YouTube and like say like really insane and offensive shit, and I'm really not about that. I don't know what is going on with my hair right now. We're just gonna trying to get this piece to where okay, we're gonna deal with that in a minute. I'm just not gonna fuck with it. I can't today. It's so humid out. But anyways, you get the Ace of Cups here and the Moon. And when I get this, I just feel like there's a new between that, because I'm pulling this, I mean, I'm doing your reading here on the full moon in Aquarius, which is in your 5th house. You're going to have this new shift and new focus on pleasure here, on what you enjoy, on what you love, on how you love, on how you like experience recreation with people, what you're connecting on within relationships. You might be finding during, between the full moon and the new moon that your experience of like what you find pleasurable to do and what you enjoy and connect with partners and love relationships has changed and shifted. And again, the 12th house weird stuff is going to be coming up as well, and those are your fears, your unaccounted knowledge, parts of self. Again, that's what shows up with the moon. It's like makes you feel a little bit like crazy and off, but it's like these things are coming up because you have to purge them and get rid of them. You have to let go of who you were and what you did want, and now you have to focus on who you are now and what you're looking for at this point. It has changed, it has shifted, and I do feel you're gonna be really ready to move on from any pain. Again, like with that moon card comes the 8 of Cups as well, and I love that these show up together because it's like we see our fears and we walk away from them. We see the past, we see the love that was, we see that, but we are also very aware of the pain that it caused us, the things that it brought out in us that we are not happy about and that we did not love about ourselves when we were with that person in that relationship. And this is going to be a really big purging moment for you to let those things go, because they do block you from the love that you could be receiving and the relationships and love that you do deserve. So I really feel like this is going to be one of those moments, like this is going to be an 8 of Cups like month of like walking away from some painful aspects, but also putting them to bed and finally, realizing why like you felt this way about certain things in the first place, why you were carrying around like this stress, anxiety, these fears, this weird stuff that was really blocking you from moving forward and getting to a better place in your life, like letting go of the past here. So I do feel this is a really beautiful moment for you to like reignite the love of yourself. And also again, like, because we have the 4 of Wands and then the 7 of Cups. To me, this feels like there's a lot of peace and happiness and meeting new people when we go out, especially with people that we love and trust, like good friends, neighbors. It's like 4 of Wands to me is always like a really celebratory energy of like new home kind of stuff, like the place around us, the 4 of Wands, because 4s are all about like being happy with where we're at. So it's like I kind of feel like when you're happy with where you're at and where you are, you start to see a lot more options. You start to, again, 7 of Cups, be more open to meeting new people, to exploring new like love options. I just feel like there's a really great chance for you to meet new people, especially again if you're single If you're not single, this is a different conversation. But again, this is for more of like the single Libras, those that are trying to find love, trying to move forward. I just feel like there's a lot of option for you to like meet new people, meet new interesting people. I'm not saying like you might fall in love this month, but I mean the Ace of Cups is there, so do put yourself out there and do let your friends and like the people around you set you up and like, you know, go out with them, because you never know who you're going to meet in those situations. You might really meet somebody that you really vibe with, and are able to like move on from a negative situation in a really beautiful way. Like, I just feel like you're ready to leave something behind and like really be who you are now. So I love this for you guys this month. Let's pull some oracle cards, Libra. And yeah, where are we going to pull the oracle cards from? Let's pull a Doreen Virtue Romance Angel card. Yeah, if you are in a relationship, it just feels like you're working past some stuff, like you're ready to leave some past negative stuff in the, you know, some past situations back there. You're ready to talk about any fears and move past them. Why you guys like might still be fighting about the similar things. It's like you're ready to work past some problems like that you weren't able to in the past, for sure. And find a lot of peace and new ways of dealing with things. It's like you always, people are constantly changing and shifting. You can't just continue to deal with relationships in that same old bullshit way. Like, people change. The way that we should treat each other should be always be better, and we should always be striving for better ways to support, treat, and love each other. So, messages for Libra from the Romance Angels. We get here for you guys. Yeah, okay. It's interesting. Because again, this is like, I feel like you guys are going to be really recognizing codependency, especially if you've had codependency in your past relationships. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. It is like an addiction. Relying on somebody, feeling like, you know, oh, like that's my person, like I can always rely on them in the back. Like, it's nice to be able to rely on somebody, but you should also be aware, like, whether it's a codependent reliance or if you can, if it's not that, you know what I mean, like if it's healthy or not. And this feels like you're letting go of codependent relationships and your need to have somebody. Again, I feel like Taurus and Libra we tend to attract very codependent partners as well. Being Venus ruled, it's an interesting experience. Honeymoon is also what comes up here. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. And I feel like that shows up again with that Four of Wands energy. Once you're able to move on from something, it's like you can meet somebody that just feels really natural, really happy, like no pressure kind of feeling here of just like really enjoying each other's really enjoying each other and just enjoying getting to know this person, spending time with them. So, Libras, those are your messages for the month of August 2022. Do make sure to follow me on Twitch and on YouTube. Do make sure to join in on the streams. We do all types of fun streams now, games, cooking, whatever. It'll be a good time. And if you do want to book a reading, I am available to be booking readings now. My availability is now open, and I am doing half-hour readings for $45, and I am doing 1 hour readings for $75, okay? So just let me know, and you can always email me at dqtarot@gmail.com if you want to book a reading, okay? Or DM me over on my Instagram at dqtarot, no caps, no spaces. Thank you guys so much, and follow me over on Twitter to see when I go live on Twitch.